I think now that we've done Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 7, I want to move on to Mario Kart Double Dash. Now, I was going to do Mario Kart DS, and that will still come out. But Mario Kart Double Dash, I'd never played before, and when I got the footage for the video, it was actually really fun. And I wish I'd played it more, and I wish I'd played it as a kid. So there's going to be no nostalgia here, although I will like to say, a lot of the courses I have actually played before in other Mario Kart games, so I am familiar. So to some extent, I'm basing my ranking off of them, but still, it was very enjoyable to play Double Dash, and I'd love to play it more. So the first track is Luigi Circuit, and honestly, it's one of my favourite opening tracks ever, purely because of two things. One, you go back on yourself, so you can interact with people going the opposite way back to you, and it can end in chaos. And the second reason is because when you're doing that, you actually go down ramps. So when you're coming back over yourself, you can't go back up the way you came, you have to follow. And I think it's a really well designed track, and it's quite interesting in its design for a very first track. So I'm giving it an A tier, because it deserves the A tier. Peach Beach is the next track, and I think what stands out about this track is the Cadillacs, I think that's what they're called. And I suppose the boardwalk at the end, when you come up the hill and back down. But honestly, it's kind of boring, and it's very monotone. It's just another beach track. It's very short as well, and because of that, I think I'm going to give it a D tier. I'm sorry. The next track is Baby Park, and I was surprised at how early on this is, because it's only the third track in the Mushroom Cup. But Baby Park, classic S tier. I mean, it's very chaotic, it was so fun to play it, and it's got a very unique visual aspect to it. Next is Dry Dry Desert, and I think this is in Mario Kart 8, and I do like the swirling pool, although I did notice that it was actually very easy to get pulled in, and then you can't do anything about it, and then you're waiting for a while to die. And other than that, it's just another desert track really. It was fun to play on, and visually it is very different to every other track in the game, so I'm going to give it a B tier. It's above average. Next up is Mushroom Bridge, and I think Mushroom Bridge might be one of my favourite tracks in this game. I mean, it's very simple, it is just a bridge and then the rest of it. But here's why I like it. One, the bridge you go on at the end, you can actually go up the side and there's boost panels, but it's also very hard to do. And there's a reward for going up there if an item box, and it's just fun to do, but it is very hard to do, and I love that about it. 2, the traffic is great, I love the Wiggler car, and it's fun to play on. And 3 is the shortcut, which just looks really nice, where there's a hill and you can go around it and fall back down before you go through the bridge. And I know I say about the visuals looking dull, but I think the visuals look quite nice. I like the colours of the natural parts, like the white and the green, and the Wiggler car looks quite cool. So it's a classic, it's an A for me. Next is Mario Circuit. Now this is in Mario Kart Wii as a retro course, and that's where I know it from. I do quite like it in the fact that it's fun to play on, but is it a bit dull? Yes. Is it worse than Mario Kart Wii's Mario Circuit? Also yeah. So I'm gonna give it a C tier. It's mediocre. Daisy Cruiser is just added to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is brilliant, because it is a great track. Visually, it's stunning. The orange of Daisy mixed with the blue of the ocean looks amazing, and the course itself is just fun. The tube you can go through, the different paths you can take, the underground section, after you're going through the hall, there's an underground section you can go through, which is like a storage unit. And then even when you're on the deck and all the chairs are moving around, it's so fun to play on. Easy S tier. Waluigi Stadium is next, and I think this is my favourite GameCube track. I love playing this in Wii as a retro course, and I love playing it in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as a retro course. It might be one of my favourite Mario Kart 8 tracks, even. I don't know why I like it so much. I think the visuals very much stand out as the brown, but then again, going off of my previous statements, I don't really like colours at stages that are one colour. And here we are, but it's just so good. I think the fire bars look nice. And of course, the main standout, the fake piranha plant made of wood. And also just the layout of the track. It's a great track to play on, and it's really fun. S tier. Next is Sherbet Land, and I like it. I don't usually like a lot of ice tracks, particularly I don't quite like the one in Mario Kart Wii that much anymore. The retro one, I'm not quite sure what game that's from. I think it does quite well in Mario Kart 8 where they remade it, and the anti-grav really works in that track. Here is fine. It's very different. I like the ice skating people, the Shy Guys, and the ice themes that can really slow you down. And the cave section is nice. It is very one colour though, but it's very pleasant. I'll give it a beta. Next up we have Mushroom City, and this is very fun, just like Mushroom Bridge. Very much the Moonview Highway of this game, mixed with Mushroom Bridge because it is cars again. I like it because there's loads of different tracks, routes you can take. You can go right, left at like every turn, and it does really feel like you're in a city and you're just taking any turn you can do. I also do like the background. It looks very futuristic and spacey and like a city, and it's very nice. And there's a lot of ways you can die. I fall off the track quite a lot in this. And the end, like the finish lines are not very clear. So I do quite like it for its chaotic nature, but I am quite bad at it. So I'm just going to give it a beta. Next is Yoshi Circuit, remade in Mario Kart 8 of course, and this is a fan favourite, and I can totally understand why. It's so fun to play. Literally every turn of this track is brilliant, and it's going to be an S tier, just straight up and telling you now. But you know what, I didn't even try the shortcut that everyone talked about, where you can fall off down the bridge. I didn't even try that one, but that's great. Every part of it just looks great. You can do the waterfall shortcut, even inside the nose when you're going around the bend drifting. It's quite fun. And on Mario Kart 8, I know it's a different game, but it's one of the most chaotic and fun courses, and it's very visually pleasing. The deep blue and the green look great. The piranha plants, amazing, S tier. Next up is DK Mountain, and I would have maybe said this was an S tier playing Wii, and it looks really nice. I do like the blue and the yellow sun with the green jungle, and the mountain looks really fun, the cannon. However, I have been persuaded maybe to put it on a B tier because it is quite unpolished. Like, it's very, very chaotic, and there's a lot of shortcuts as well, which would normally be good, but it makes it go quite fast, and it is kind of visually samey. So, B tier. It would be an A tier, but you'll find out why it's a B tier later on. Next up, we have Wario Colessium, and unpopular opinion, I don't like Wario Colessium. And I know that's tragic because I've heard a lot of good things about it, and a lot of people really want it to come back and are upset that it didn't come back. But I don't like the track. It's boring, and it's got the same music as Waluigi Stadium, but the whole track is you driving on a dull, grey, silver road or grating in front of just brown backgrounds, and it's so boring. You can't tell where you're on the track most of the time because there's nothing to really visually guide you. You're either on a pathway or you're in the massive circular cage, which you're in for maybe 5 seconds, where you can take the shortcut or go around the bend. There's just nothing interesting. So I won't put it in an F tier because it can be quite fun still, but I'm going to put it in a D tier. Sorry. Next is Dino Dino Jungle, and Dino Dino Jungle is the reason DK Mountain is a B tier, because Dino Dino Jungle is an A tier because not only does it have the jungle aesthetic, it does it better because dinosaurs are just cool. They're quite cool, and they look cool in the game, and I like how you have to dodge their legs. Very fun. And then you see one when you're going over the bridge at the end. And I also do like how you go through the cave and there's geysers everywhere and splatters, and then you're on that narrow bridge winding up to it, and then at the end you're just going through the jungle. It's so fun. A tier. I think I said in another video in Mario Kart Wii that Bowser's Castle was better on the GameCube, and it is, but I just don't think I'm a fan of Bowser Castle's tracks. because I'm going to put this in a C tier, I think. It's not bad. I think the Bowser statue is really fun, the way it moves in and out. It is quite hard though, and I do get that's the point, but I was not very good at it. But again, the same criticism of a lot of other Bowser tracks. It's just kind of boring and dull, being grey and red, and I wasn't really a fan. I wasn't really as much as a fan as I thought I'd be when looking at it, but it was alright. So see, our Rainbow Road is last. What a classic. It's a nice track visually. I was trying to remember in another episode what Rainbow Road had the city beneath it, and it is this one. And I think that adds so much. I think that adds so much to the aesthetic of the track. There's a city below, so that does help the track in my view. And I do also just like the general layout. I thought I'd be more happy for the walkthrough, but I kind of didn't care. Like, it doesn't really feel like you're going for a walkthrough. But the rest of the track is quite friendly, and it has a lot of elevation to it, and I do like it visually. It's very nice, and the soundtrack's great, of course. So I will give this an A tier. So that's my ranking. Maybe not as many S tiers as I thought there'd be, because I do always hear good things about Double Dash, but I do understand Double Dash has its strength elsewhere, like in the characters and the mechanics. But all of these are classic tracks. Even the ones I dislike are still okay to race on. And I'm always happy when a GameCube track comes back in a future game. Overall, comparing it to Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart Wii, the other games I've done, I think, while this might actually have more S tiers than my Wii video, I'm not sure. I feel like there's a lot more worse tracks, or tracks are more okay on in GameCube. And I think Wii has a lot of vibrant colours, whereas these older games maybe don't, and also nostalgia with Wii. So I feel like I still will prefer Wii, but do you know what? Ever since I recorded the footage for this video, I've actually gone back and played Double Dash in my own time, just as it's fun, which I didn't do with DS or 7. So yeah, that's good. Definitely better than DS. I think the 7 still has the most S tiers I've ever done, but I don't know. It's still an iconic track list. Maybe the worst out of the 3 I've done, but still very strong. And Double Dash is a great game, and I'd urge you to check it out. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back next week, please.